How do you co-create learning targets with your teacher?
Oh, well, in our class, we don't co-create learning targets. Like, we create our own, like, while we're in class, while she's teaching, if we find something, like, usually the title of what she's teaching or the main point of what she's teaching, we'll create as a learning target. And usually what we create as a learning target is what the learning target is, like, as a standard.
We don't really co-create learning targets. Like, she'll do the lesson, and then based off what she teaches, you'll take your discovery board and you'll write in the learning targets.
How does your teacher introduce what you're going to solve for the day?
Well, she just gives a basic overview of what we're going to do, and if we have like, if it is a problem or if it's just like a learn target that we're going to learn, she like gives a small summary of what we're going to do, and then she goes in depth later on.
So typically, she'll start with the lesson. So she'll have so tell us what we're going to talk about. It'll typically be written on the board. Then after we finish our warm up, we'll go through the lesson. And then after you go through the lesson, you can either do the activities or you can work on your project and find a way to incorporate that into your project.
Talk to me about the activities.
Okay, so we create our own discovery board, but for the discovery board, like there's some like activities you can choose from. So and with those, you don't have to do like all the activities. You just have to do enough to where you feel comfortable, and then you can move on.
So when you say comfortable, you're saying that you're kind of self-assessing?
Yeah.
Teacher, and how do you come up with the ideas for solving problems related to learning targets in your class?
We do research, like we research our own topics. Like she won't give us a specific problem to solve, but it has to pertain to what we learn. So if it like something like quadratics, we would have to find something and research something that has to do with quadratics.
How do you start that research? Where do you begin?
We begin with what we learn, like we learn like a basic standard, or we start with like the name of our unit. So like if it was probability or if it was something else, we would like just look that up and just think about in our heads what would like go with it.
Okay. And then what would be the next step in your research?
Looking up like basic like careers or regular project that other people have done that go with the unit and seeing if we can come up with our own.
For the projects, we'll get like she'll tell us what the unit is about, and then like you can look it up like the examples of this in the real world.
So there's a real world context behind that connection. How do you work on mini lessons or in small groups? What does that look like in your class?
Usually, if you were to just step into the classroom, it would look very chaotic and not organized. But most of us have set up our own learning groups depending on what level we're on, because all of us go different speeds. We have basic groups that we all just somehow find ourselves in she'll give us an assignment and we'll all just gravitate to a certain group, and it'll all be just mad. It'll be so loud in the classroom. It'll sound like we're just a hectic class that has no order, but if you listen to what's in our mouth, it's always mad and stuff is what we're talking.
You get to choose, but she advises us not to just work with our friends, work with somebody who's going to actually help you and do their work so that way you can have a good final product and it's turned in on time.
How are you assessed during the process?
She gives us daily warm-ups, and they're graded, and usually the warm-ups on what she taught last class.
And how are you assessed on your final products? Projects?
Well, our projects, they're usually really like a grand scale of things, so it's a lot in a project, but usually we're given a rubric at the beginning of the unit to like know what we're going by, and if all the standards, or at least if most of the standards are there and all the math is correct, that's how we grade it on.
So when she's doing her teaching, every day she'll give us like a warm up, or almost every day, and that's graded. And then you have the project, which is a major grade, and then you have at the end of the unit you have the test. You start with the learning, and then as she learns, you keep adding on to the project. So you'll find your topic, and then you'll find a way to incorporate what you're learning into your topic, and then you'll put together a presentation
What project are you most proud of? And why?
Had to say, my quadratics one, we did the entire unit of quadratics and a little bit of another unit of circles. And I think it was our best because we all knew the math ourselves and it all came together really nice. Everything was like put together well and it wasn't rushed. It was all just go with the flow. It wasn't like planned, but it wasn't not planned. It was just like, we made a movie and it had all the learn targets in it and it had like little funny bits and different parts. So each person was like a different, like head of a different part of the movie.
Ability project because we did football. So, and I love football, and it was the probability of Tom Brady making it back to the Super Bowl. So you really got to like look up different stats and try to figure out the probability that he'll make it back to the Super Bowl.
What's your favorite aspect about personalized learning?
That you can go at your own pace, or you can make what you want to make out of it. Like, you have to have like a certain level of responsibility, but like once you like get into the groove of things, you can like plan your week out and you can fit it to like your schedules. Like if you have something going on one day, you can shift around what you're doing. Nothing like a set due date unless it's like everything is due one day, but you can spread it out how you like.
How do you think personalized learning differs from traditional learning?
It's better for each individual student because with traditional learning, if you can fall behind easily because the teacher won't give you time to pick you back up, or they won't give you time to catch up with what you're doing, or you can be like really smart and just know what they're teaching you, but you can't do anything about it. You just sit there and do nothing in class. So it's better for each individual student.
I like that with personalized learning. You get to move at your own pace, and you're also not just sitting there doing work. You're actually like learning. You're actually doing hands-on activities and learning how what you are talking about in class relates to things in the real world. It's different from traditional learning because with traditional learning, everybody learns the same thing at the same time, and they expect everybody to be on the same pace. But with personalized learning, you kind of get to move at your own pace, and you can move ahead, or if you need extra help, you can get extra help with personalized learning. And then with personalized learning, it's a lot more hands-on activity than with just doing traditional learning.